Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Noemi. Today I wanted to do the Jaclyn Hill Ride or Die tag. So the first item in this tag is primer. Personally, I don't use primers because I don't feel the need to. I feel like my makeup stays on pretty much the whole day without me having to retouch. The next thing is foundation. Personally, I love the Maybelline Matte and Poreless foundation. This is their Fit Me one. I am in love with this stuff. This works great. For concealer, I am obsessed, and this is definitely my ride or die product. This is the LA Girl Pro Conceal HD concealers. These are super full coverage. You can cover blemishes, you can cover under eye circles. At least for me, this is probably like the best heavy duty concealer that I've tried. Right now I use medium bisque to spot conceal, but I also add a little bit of this under the eye to conceal that, and then I like to use my Maybelline Fit Me on top of it. But this is definitely my ride or die concealer. I am obsessed with this. Moving on from concealers, the next product in the ride or die tag is face powders. I personally am obsessed with the Rimmel Stay Matte powder. I take this everywhere I go. In fact, I'm going to put some on now. I would say I have combination skin, but this does not make me look like extremely dry and flaky, and it doesn't give me the super matte but flat look on my oily T-zone. I personally feel like this product is just perfect. I love to use this with a puff. As you can see, it has an e.l.f. puff in here. I let my mom use this one day and she was obsessed with it. As soon as she touched it, she's like, you need to get me one, and I ended up going out and bought her the same exact powder. The next thing in this ride or die tag is blush. I don't have one single product that's my favorite. I have two. These two have been everything to me. So the first product is this City Color Be Matte blush. I am in love with this blush. This is in the shade Blood Orange, and honestly, it's just the perfect kind of corally pink blush. Let me just swirl my finger around in this once to show you how pigmented this is. Like, oh my god. What is this? This is ridiculous. I feel like I have pretty good lasting power. I don't feel like I need to reapply. I wore it today at around 7 a.m. and I was able to get away with about almost 10 hours of wear. I am right now currently about in the 14th hour of this. I still can see a little bit of it on my cheeks. The next product I wanted to share with you guys was this So Susan Jello shot. I know I've probably mentioned this a few times already. I unboxed it in my lip monthly bag about 2 months ago, I believe. I am just obsessed with this lip gel slash cheek gel. It's just perfect. This is in the shade Hangover. What I like to do is mix these two to give me the best lasting power. I didn't do that today, but usually what I'll do is use a little bit of the Jello shot, apply tiny bit under, and because it is a liquid product, once it dries down it's a little bit tacky, I like to go over just a little bit with the City Color Cosmetics blush, and that just tops it off and sets the blush, the liquid blush that I put on under. I know there was under eye setting powders, but I don't really have one that's my favorite. For bronzer, I have to say that my favorite bronzer is the one in the City Color Contour Effects palette. This is their contour palette, and it has a contour shade, a bronzer shade, and a highlight. The highlight, I dropped this palette and it cracked half of it off, but it's okay because this palette has too white of a highlight. Like, if you're fair skinned, this is gonna be perfect for you, but for me this is way too white. I cannot do this. But this bronze shade is not orange at all personally. I find this to be such a creamy sort of powder that kind of melts into the skin. And then this is their contour color here. As you can tell, super pigmented right there. It's a cool tone blonde, does not have a lot of warmth into it, I personally think. Contour shade and the bronzer shade in this palette is amazing. I am obsessed with this palette. Okay, so moving on to highlight, I just realized that almost everything I talked about is drugstore or very affordable. I don't know why that happened, but I find a lot of great makeup products that I don't hear a lot of people talk about, and you can find them in your local drugstore, Five Below. But for me, my favorite highlight and my ride or die highlight would be the City Color Cosmetics Sunkissed Trio in Bronzed Peach. I talk about this all the time, and I apologize for that. It's just that this is such a perfect highlight. This trio has a blush, a bronzer, and a highlight. Personally, the peach-ish sort of blush is perfect. This is as pigmented as their single blushes. This is a shade right here. It's a peachy color. I don't find this to be too flattering on my skin, so I don't wear it a lot. It does have a little bit of shimmer to it, so if you want that luminous look with your blush, this will definitely work. It also has a bronzer in the middle, super creamy as well, and I find that it's about the same shade as the one in their palette, the Contour Effects palette. And then the highlight, which is everything to me. Oh my god, like, I only did it twice and it just, look at that highlight. Once you start like blending this out a little bit more, it becomes more sheer and just so highlighty. This highlight is just gonna make you glow. It's perfect, and you can definitely build this up to super intense as I showed you right now. Next thing I see on there is an eyeshadow palette. Now for me, there are a lot of palettes that I personally love and just use on a regular basis, but there is not one that compares to this eyeshadow palette that I have, and maybe you might guess it or not, but I feel like this is such a great basic eyeshadow palette and super cheap, only $10. It's just super good, has neutral shades, a little bit of warmth to them, and these are all matte, so if you're not into shimmer, you don't have to worry. And if you are into shimmer, you can always add a shimmer color from your highlight or from whatever it is that you're wearing that day. This is the E.l.f. Matte for Matte palette, as you might have guessed already. I feel like it gives you a nice size mirror here, but you also get a ton of these shades. In Jaclyn Hill's tag, this was not included either, but I wanted to mention it because it's just, oh, I am obsessed with this. This is the Tarte Silk Amazonian Clay Eyeliner in the shade Plum. They're just so perfect, creamy. I noticed that when I tight line my eye, I don't have to worry about it transferring onto my lower lash line or the waterline. This stays on all day. I gave the black one to my mom because she was obsessed with it as much as I was. The next thing in Jaclyn Hill's tag is mascara, and personally, I don't have one that's my favorite, so I can't really say. For lipstick, my ride or die lipstick has to be the NYX Liquid Suede Cream lipstick in the shade Soft Spoken. I am so, oh my god, I realize I don't have it on right now. Let me put some on. Soft Spoken is a beautiful color, as you can see right now, and it's like a neutral sort of nude. This is my go-to lipstick. That is my liquid lip. I don't really have a favorite lipstick. Moving on to gloss, I don't think that there is a gloss that I personally love super much. For lashes, I don't use lashes all the time. But the lashes that I am obsessed with lately have to be these two. The Cara eyelashes in Demi Wispys, because I think that there's just, I don't know, they're just perfect. They look natural. I also love to use the Ardell Demi Wispys because they're more short, but they give you more fullness to your eye, if that makes sense, and I'm just obsessed with those as well. Okay, so for setting spray, I don't really use or haven't used a lot of setting sprays, so I don't really know if it's my ride or die, but I have been loving the NYX setting spray. This is the one in Dewy. So that's it for my Jaclyn Hill ride or die tag. I didn't include perfume in here because I don't have a favorite perfume. There's one I use often, but I don't really consider it my ride or die. So that's it. So I tag all of you, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.